Oh, what's it called? Lake St. Clair smallmouth llama.
Body barely hooked too.
Nettie. Boom! Look at this thing, dude. Look at that.
That's a savage.
Giant. Got him. Oh, I saw him eat it on. That is so cool. I saw him eat it on live scope.
You did?
Yeah.
Is it a big one?
Decent one. It's in my trolling motor.
No.
Alright. First ever live scope bass. Not a big one, but still a live scope bass. Load up. Golly, something. It's gotta be a little one. Whatever's there. Big. There you go. Still eating. Got it.
That one looks big.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Sticky ain't a keeper. He's not big fast, just keep it moving. Let it fall. Once it goes down, just kind of get that thing moving. There he is. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
Got it. Easy, 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 easy.
Big, son. Big.
Oh yeah. Oh, bring it.
Ooh. There you go. That's a good first gunner for the bass.
Yeah.
Dang, it's like a 2.5, 3.
Holy man.
Ooh, these are good feisty. There we go.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Been a few weeks since I've had a video post here, other than a couple shorts, and been a lot going on. So we've been to Lake Guntersville a couple weeks ago. Spent a little bit of time pre-fishing for a few tournaments coming up, and I just wanted to drop a little video here for you guys today on a topic that I've struggled with for a long time, as far as breaking down a fishery and understanding bass movement. And it's these little transition zones. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. So as the seasons change, the bass move, but it's a cyclical pattern. It goes in a big circle. The bass will set up on these steeper banks that lead into the mouth of pockets, or they will stage on offshore structure that has adjacent shallow water that ties into the bank or leads into a pocket. These fish will get out on the river ledge, and that's where they'll winter. They'll either winter in hydrilla, or there'll be some stumps, or sometimes they just relate to just the break in the channel itself. And then those fish make a move. As the days start getting longer, the water's starting to warm up, those fish start to make their move. So they will travel from these channels. Sometimes they'll cross the flat, or they'll follow the creek channel back into these feeder creeks. But these transition areas is something I've always struggled, because if you miss it by an inch, you miss it by a mile. The fish can either be ahead of you or they can be behind you. And yes, they don't all move at the same time, but the bigger population of fish could either be ahead of you or behind you in their movement. So what these are, if you look at the map here, these are just isolated structural elements, whether it be a long point, or whether it be a hump, a channel bend in the creek channel that's adjacent to a point that leads into a spawning pocket. So the key to remember with that is all of these elements will have deep water close by, and they will also lead into shallow flats, shallow bays, wind protected areas where these fish want to go to spawn. At Guntersville, as you saw in the clip there a while ago, we had some fish that we kind of found on one of these offshore humps that is in the mouth of a spawning pocket. Now, it's got a lot of eelgrass around and some hydrilla scattered around the rim of this hump. And this is not just a small, quick hump. I mean, this hump covers a large area. I would say probably a good 2 acres of surface area. And it's right in the mouth of a pretty good sized bay or pocket, and it's not that far from the main river channel. There is a ditch or creek channel that leads out of this pocket as well, and these are just key staging areas or little stopping points. And in the month of March and April in the Midwest, these are key areas. They're just staging in these areas, waiting for that water temperature to get right, waiting for everything to come together for them to make that move up shallow to spawn. So what I like to do is cover these areas pretty quickly, and when I get a bite or two, then I'll slow down. So in the clips a while ago, you saw I was throwing a trap first, so I'll pick up something like a lipless crankbait, or just like a square bill, and typically in a shad pattern. Depending upon the watercolor, we may have something with a little chartreuse in it, or just a natural shad pattern based on what that watercolor looks like. What I'm doing is just fan casting around these little staging areas, or these stopping points. And I'm just covering a lot of water. And then whenever I get a bite, I like to slow down. And then when I slow down, I will start to really pick it apart more. I'll be looking at the structure within the structure, or the habitat within the structure is what I like to say. So the structural element is the hump. The habitat within the structure is going to be the eelgrass, the clumps of hydrilla. So I'm going to start to pick those things apart. and look for multiple bites and try to establish that pattern. And that's whenever I'm going to come in and I'm going to throw something like a soft plastic jerk bait. Just a regular old Zoom Super Fluke. I also like to use a lot of baits that maybe the fish wouldn't see, especially on pressured fisheries like Lake Guntersville was. I just like to pick up a regular old drop shot. About a 10-inch leader, 1/4 ounce weight, straight shank hook, robo worm in Morning Dawn, and I like to pitch that around. And really, we're only talking 4 to 6 foot of water, but that's a bait those fish won't see a lot up shallow like that in and around that grass. So fast forward real quick, those transition areas are not only good for pre-spawn, but after those fish spawn, they are also a lot of times the first place those fish are going to stop on their way back out. And those will be the areas a lot of times those females will actually set up after they spawn, and that's where they go to just kind of recoup. They're just recuperating from the spawn, and you can fish a lot of those same areas and catch some really good quality post-spawn fish. Breaking down the lake map and finding these areas is going to be the biggest help for you. So looking at the map, understanding deep water adjacent, shallow water, and the areas in between need to have both shallow water close, deep water close, and we need some sort of structural element. Doesn't necessarily have to have habitat on it, but that's always a plus. So we're looking for that hump, we're looking for that long point, we're looking for that island, something to give us a good structural element, and then we try to break down the habitat within the structure. Our fish in this area are obviously still pre-spawn. We have a ways to go because the weather right now will not make up its mind. We appreciate you guys taking the time to watch our video. If you get an opportunity, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate that. And share a comment with us. Let us know some videos you would like to see, or if you have some questions about breaking down a lake or a particular lake. I'm happy to share any information that I have that can help you catch more fish on the water. So send those comments to us. We would love to help you out in any way that we can. And we greatly appreciate your viewership. And we will see you guys on the water soon.